Okay, we're going to delay the short break on the Giants series until after the offseason. I want to get the offseason out of the way. We're going to go through this quick offseason because really I don't think there's too many moves that need to be made. We're going to go over the stats. Jones had a very good season for us, obviously. Saquon Barkley probably had the best year ever for a running back in the NFL. Crazy season. Stephon Diggs had one of the better receiving years ever too. It sucks this team did not win a Super Bowl, but we're going to try to rebuild this squad. Not rebuild it, we're just going to try to bring back all the key pieces and make a run for the championship. I mean, surprisingly, Darren Kennard with only 14 sacks allowed this season, better than his 26 in previous years, so maybe the man from Kentucky is finally turning it around. For our defensive players, Deion Jones had a tremendous year. Same can be said about Jabril Peppers and Xavier McKinney. You look at the TFLs, Fletcher Cox with 19 of them, Kayvon Thibodeau at 17, Josh Allen with 16, and it was really all Cox and Thibodeau this season. Those two killed it. I just hope Fletcher Cox does not retire. He was such a big part of the defense. He's a monster, and if he plays one more season, he'll probably make it into the Hall of Fame. Also, Xavier Howard with 9 interceptions. Howard has now gone from star to superstar dev, which is huge. Harrison Butker, the best kicker in the NFL. Johnny Hekker, maybe the best punter in the NFL. We invested in the special teams, and it paid off this season, and CJ Verdell had a pretty solid year returning as well. You look at the league leaders. Jones had a good year, but oh my goodness, Patrick Mahomes, he's a 5-time Super Bowl champion now, even though Daniel Jones did beat him out with touchdown passes this season. And Saquon Barkley, 2,176 rushing yards, 24 touchdowns for Barkley. Those 24, though, did not lead the NFL. In fact, it was the man from the Cleveland Browns, yes, Nick Chubb, ended up leading the NFL in touchdowns this season. But Saquon Barkley, again, with a tremendous year. Yeah, Chubb with 30, and then Saquon with 24, and McCaffrey and Kamara below them with 23 apiece. And here's the offense heading into the offseason. Yeah, pretty solid. Andrew Thomas is injured at left tackle. That's why he's not starting. And then here's the defense. You look at Xavier Howard, back to superstar. Thibodeau at 97 overall. X Factor right end. And the problem with this team is we have no money. We'll get to that in a second, but Saquon Barkley is your MVP. It is well-deserved. He wins it over McCaffrey, Kamara, and Trevor Lawrence. And Urban Meyer wins back-to-back Coach of the Year awards, but so well-deserved. Saquon Barkley finally wins the MVP, so now him and Jones both have MVPs to their name. You look at the 2025 season recap. Okay, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. 47-41 was the final. The Chiefs win. If you haven't seen the Super Bowl video, go check it out, and also make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. While you're at it, you look at their retirements. We lose Fletcher Cox and Rob Gronkowski. Okay, Gronk, we got it midway through the season last season, but the Fletcher Cox loss is just terrible. A lot of guys are retired too. Khalil Mack, Julio Jones, Jarvis Landry, Adam Thielen, Bobby Wagner, Darius Slay. Some huge retirements, but for us, Fletcher Cox was still playing at an elite level at defensive tackle. We're going to lose him. He was one of our better defensive players, maybe our best defensive player. And now we're going to be without him for the next season. So you look at the guys we're going to try to bring back. We don't have too much money, so we're just going to try to bring guys on cheap contracts. Looking at a guy like Brock Purdy. Now, Purdy's 26. He's a 72 overall. He might have some value, honestly, in the trade market. So I might look to trade Brock Purdy, just considering the value he does command right now in this league. Reggie Roberson, he's been with us for a while. Gonna try to bring him back. He will re-sign the 6'5" tight end. Roberson is an absolute monster. You look at some of these other guys, and Andrew Thomas, I don't think we have the money. Jalen Catalon will probably bring back. I don't know how much of an impact he will have on the team, but he has re-signed. Patrick Ricard, I'm going to let walk. We just don't have the money to offer him a deal. Same can be said about Tyler Davis. I want to bring back CJ Verdell just because he is our kick returner and he is one of our running backs, given he's third string. But Verdell has been with us for a very long time and he will re-sign. I want to bring back Sam Laporta, but I don't got the money for that. Bradbury, we definitely don't have the money. And as for Anthony Schwartz, I can probably bring him back. He will be our fourth receiver, of course, behind the big three. And of course, Slayton, Tony, and Stephon Diggs. Schwartz will be back. He's a speed demon, 97, 98 speed. If you need a go route, you can always go to Anthony Schwartz. He's really filling in now for that John Ross role that we had a couple years ago. Again, I can't bring in Thomas. We just don't have the money to offer him a deal, so we're going to let our left tackle walk in free agency, and we're not going to be able to bring him back. So here's the offense. Heading into free agency, obviously, we're going to make some trades, and we're going to draft some guys as well, but here's the offense. Looking solid, but of course, some improvements still can be made. You look at the free agency class. There are some monsters in here. Dalvin Cook, it's Ezekiel Elliott, Aaron Donald, Derek Stingley, Juju Smith-Schuster, Isaiah Wynn, Younghoe Koo, Shaquille Griffin. It is a stacked free agency class, but there's nothing we can do. The first trade might be a shocker. We're going to trade with our good friends over here with the Buffalo Bills, Julian Love, Josh Allen, and David Andrews for Tre'Davious White, Mark Carr, a left tackle, and a first-round pick. The first-round pick, we traded the Bills just last season. Why did I do this? We need to clear up some cap room. Josh Allen makes $25 million a year. I need to move that contract. David Andrews is going to make $15. Love makes $5. I had to do it. Tre'Davious White's only making about $8 million a year, and he's one of the best shutdown corners in the NFL. Also, we're going to trade 3 of our guys for Bradford. He's a center from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's got star depth. He can be our starter, and again, it is a cap dump trade that ends up helping the team because Bradford now a 78 overall, and you see Carr at left tackle. The entire O-line still star development, and now you look at the defense. We have added Tre'Davious White. Now we don't have a right outside linebacker, which sucks as of now, but of course we're going to try to fill that hole. But Tre'Davious White, absolute monster. Him, Howard, Horn, and McLovern will be tremendous this season in our secondary. And also we're going to trade Manny Nash to the New England Patriots for a second-round pick. That might come into play later. Here it is. Brock Purdy, a second-round pick this year and a second-round pick next year for a first-round pick from the Los Angeles Rams. Derek Carr is no longer a Ram, and now Brock Purdy will finally get his chance to start in the NFL. It will be for the Rams, and here we are going to trade that Rams pick for the 4th overall pick. Again, as our friends over in Buffalo, the Bills will be taking that first-round pick for the 4th overall pick. And there's a guy I have in mind. There's 2 of them. You'll see it in a second. So you go to the draft. The Broncos have the 1st overall pick, and they take a quarterback. Great, because they already got Malik Willis, who's an 85 overall. Speaking of a quarterback, the Eagles will take a quarterback, even though they got 90 overall Sam Howell. The Colts actually need a quarterback, so that makes sense, and now it's our pick. Okay, there's 2 guys. The first one, Jason Schaefer from Washington State. He's a defensive tackle, one of the best guys on the board. He's the first guy. The second one is Raheem Harding, right outside linebacker out of Colorado. I don't know, man. I could go either way. We've picked a lot of D tackles recently in the draft, but Schaefer looks really good. But the same can be said about the man out of Colorado, too. I just don't know. I want them both, but I think we're going to take Jason. 22 years old out of Washington State. He's the 5th overall player in the draft class. 76 overall. Hidden development out of Washington State. I'll take it. That means the draft class wasn't all that great. So I'm still trying to trade for a pick that will allow us to get Harding. So we're really just playing this pick by pick right now. Going to pick 13. The Falcons take a quarterback. Now the Buccaneers. Oh my goodness, he's a 77 overall. So he's like the 2nd or 3rd best player in the draft, and we could have had him at 4. Oh my goodness. He would have done more for us than Schaefer does. We don't have a right outside linebacker right now. Raheem Harding is going to Tampa Bay, so I just need to trade for someone quickly. We're going to trade Thomas and our 2nd first-round pick for Dallas Turner. He's playing for the Miami Dolphins currently. He's on a cheap contract, and there you go. We've just got our right outside linebacker. He's an 86 overall. He's probably better than Harding is right now, and he's also got X Factor for a first-round pick. I think it's worth it. Welcome to the team, Dallas Turner. So our 2nd round pick's actually a good one. It's a Julian Love replacement right here. Zach Potts, number 14 in the draft. He's a hybrid strong safety from Auburn. I think that's great. In the 3rd round, we're going to take Matt. He's a center from Wisconsin. He's a 71 overall. Could be solid eventually. Just a pick to watch out for, I guess, sometime in the future if someone gets hurt. We don't have Brock Purdy anymore. Davis Mills is the backup, and Lane Oliver will be the 3rd string. He's got hidden depth for a quarterback who's a 62 overall. Interesting. He's a scrambling quarterback. We'll see, man. And then we'll take Antoine King at the end of this draft in the 7th round. So that Oliver pick could be interesting. Maybe he will be better than what Davis Mills is right now. Who knows? He's an athletic quarterback. He can scramble. We will see him in the preseason when we come back with the Giants franchise. There was the offense. Here's the defense. The defense looks nice, man. I mean, oh my goodness, Dallas Turner, welcome. 3 X factors in the defense for Tre'Davious White. I'm liking it, man. I am really liking it. Here on the defensive side of the ball, there's Dallas Turner, the 3rd-year man out of Alabama. Oh my. Him, Deion Jones, Micah Parsons, and Azeez Ojulari. You look at our schedule. Look who we got week 1. we go on the road to Los Angeles. It will be Jones versus Purdy in Brock Purdy's first ever start. He will get a chance to take on Daniel Jones and the team that brought him into the NFL. You can't write it any better. It will be Jones and Purdy week 1. I'm excited. We'll go through the quarterbacks like we do every single season. Fields is still in Chicago. Burrow is still in Cincinnati. Allen's in Denver. Malik Willis still has his job in Denver. Baker Mayfield's still the guy in Cleveland. Desmond Ridder, the former Cincinnati quarterback, is now starting in Tampa over Gardner Minshew. Kyler Murray's in Arizona. Herbert, of course, here in Los Angeles. Mahomes, come on now, still in Kansas City. Dwight Bowden, the rookie out of Oklahoma State, now starting in Indianapolis. Dak Prescott, of course, still for Dallas. Tua still starting for the Dolphins with Josh Rosen backing him up. Sam Howell still the guy in Philadelphia. Larry Fisher, the rookie quarterback out of Alabama, now starting over Drew Lock and Carson Strong in Atlanta. For the football team, of course, JT Daniels, Trey Lance still starting in Santa Clara. Daniel Jones, of course, our starting quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, still Urban Meyer's guy. In Jacksonville, Zach Wilson still playing at MetLife for the Jets. Graham Mertz is the man in Detroit. The Packers still rolling out Thad Shelton, the second-year man out of Texas Tech University. Sam Darnold coming out for his 9th season with the Panthers just as a pro. Mac Jones still starting for the New England Patriots. DJ Uyunglele starting for the Las Vegas Raiders. There is Brock Purdy starting for the Rams over Kellen Mond and Kyle Trask. They're excited for Purdy to finally get a shot in the NFL as a starter. Lamar starting, of course, for the Ravens. Keaton Slovis starting for the Saints over Jameis Winston. Russell Wilson's 37, still starting strong for the Seahawks. CJ Stroud's the guy in Pittsburgh. Deshaun Watson still starting for the Houston Texans. And Spencer Rattler starting over Jared Goff in Tennessee. So Rattler was picked below Justin Herbert for the Chargers. Now he's finally starting for the Titans. And of course, Jordan Love is in Minnesota. And folks, that will do it for episode number 104 of the New York Giants franchise mode here on Madden 22. Again, taking a little short break from this series after today's episode. We'll be back though pretty shortly. I mean, I can guarantee it'll probably be just like a 2-day break or even just a 1-day break. So I'll see you guys very soon here for the 2026 season with the New York Football Giants franchise mode. Again, folks, thank you all for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. And Mamba forever.